Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's August 4th, 2018, and this morning I decided I'd take the Insta 361 360 camera out and oh, Timmy, come on, and get it out while I was going to go down and evaluate pond, which we call pond 5. This was the third pond we put in over a dozen years ago now, and we brought in a friend with close to a 30-ton excavator to come in and dig this pond out. There's an island in the center of it, and we've had so this whole property is basically a gravel base. Our neighbors are all gravel beds. And so what we've done is we've tried to patch up this pond that's been very leaky since day one. And I explained in the video about us, taking fill from other ponds when we dug other areas and trying to widen up the west wall, which is the side over my left shoulder to the right of your screen. And we made that driveway much wider as a result, but that did slow the leakage down some, but not profoundly. Then I decided to use cardboard and weeds and organic material to go ahead and try and patch the pond. So what you're going to see now is the Insta 361 camera, and I took it through the processing part. It came out okay. Let me know what you think about the video presentation. Okay, Timmy, I gotta let you down so I can use both hands. I guess he's not gonna get down. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna run that footage. If you think the video was of value, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we make yourself comfortable. If you want to be notified when we post another video. And by all means, folks, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye now. Timmy, you're a pain in the butt. Ouch, your nails. So I have the Insta 360 on a selfie stick right now, the Insta 361. And I'm going over to Pond 5. Pond 5 is a pond that I've discussed over the last few years. It's a pond that we've historically, this whole property is basically a gravel bed that was never mined, and it was depleted farmland that was let regrow over 50 years ago, and over 70 years ago. So I've been gradually clearing it and doing the work around here, and we put in this pond. This was the third pond that we put in. Right over here, it's about a 7-foot drop off right at this location here, and right underneath this ash tree right in front of us here is a stone wall, and you can see there's brush and all that I've been building up on top of it. And when we excavated out this pond, took the material from the pond and put it up on the stone wall. Now, this driveway that we're looking through, that I drive through all the time, was about half as wide as it is now. And the pond was much larger. And the reason that the pond was much larger previously and is much smaller now is because we ended up having to try and patch the pond. This is all gravel and sand around here. And since this was a stone wall over here on this spot over here, I thought this is the most likely place where there's the most leakage. And so we take material as we dug other ponds and did work in other locations and start dumping it right along this roadway here, trying to patch this whole thing. And we did that, I think, 3 times. So we made the access road here wider, which has turned out to be great. The pond smaller, which isn't as great. And then I had the idea of using cardboard to try and patch the pond. And at the time I was going and getting cardboard from 2 businesses and taking all the cardboard I could get my hands on from a wildlife rehabilitator as well. and started lining the walls of this pond with cardboard. I didn't remove any tape or any of those things. I just line it. And a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, we had a pretty severe drought, and that was the first time that the pond didn't go completely dry. Now this year we're having another significant drought, so I wanted to see, well, let's go down in there and see how things have worked out. So I'm going to walk down into the pond now. This is the area where the slope is okay, where I can walk down the side. You can see we've got some growth growing on the side of the pond here, and you can see it's more or less gravel going up from this point here where I'm standing on the pond, and the water level is usually about over my head. I'd be underwater now during the winter months. And what has happened is I put the cardboard along the sides, and I'll go over to where the ducks are for a minute. As I put the cardboard along the sides there, what ended up happening is the material started working its way down and going down the side. And you can see here's some evidence, some of the tape from one of the packages, and I'm sure underneath here there's quite a bit of tape. There's some right there as well. So I should get down here and try and pick up some of this material. But a lot of it's disappeared, and some of it might just be under the sediment down here. So here's an example where it hasn't broken down completely yet. There's some of the cardboard there. It's under some of the brush over in there. Here's some of the cardboard here as well. And this is an area that I concentrated more on. And as I'm walking here right now, so I would take weeds and cardboard. I put the cardboard down first and then use leaves or even bagged leaves or weeds to cover it up, to try and make it so it wouldn't slide down the hill. And as I'm standing here now, I'm going to see if I can shorten up this selfie stick. As I'm here now, as I walk along, I can feel the sediment, the material is much thicker under my feet here, and as we go down further, it's much thicker and compacting down, and previously this would have been completely dry. And if it weren't for the cardboard sliding down the bank, down into these lower areas, I think that the water level would be much higher. Now all of our ponds are lower, they aren't spring fed, they're all catchment for rainwater systems. And in a gravel bed area where there's increased porosity, it is a huge challenge. The other thing I've done is I've taken some of the aerator plants as well as other plants and brought them down into this pond to try and increase the vegetative growth within the water, to decrease the amount of evaporation, increase the oxygenation, and as that material breaks down, it'll put sediment on the bottom and hopefully plug up the pond as well. So the pond is still leaky once we get above probably right about where I'm standing right now, which this lower part seems to be gleed in, sealed as a result of much of the cardboard, weeds, and leaves that I've been using. The challenge is when I line this whole area with cardboard to keep it from slipping down in here, and it takes a tremendous amount of cardboard. So when I would bring my trailer load of cardboard home, that would do maybe an area of about 100 square feet, because I'd try to get it 6 inches thick. But as the water level would come down, the sheets would work their way down and they'd get down to this area. So I haven't decided how to deal with this, and certainly some of the cardboard would start to float as well, and it would end up way over there. You could see potentially some over in the brush. The other thing that I think about when I'm thinking about patching the pond here is the root system of some of these plants. So the roots of the plants are working their way into the gravel base. Even if I get more of this beautiful sediment here, boy, this is pretty wet, so I don't want to bring the excavator down here yet. But these roots working their way in are doing mining in a sense, and increasing porosity That's what a root is going to do. It's going to mine its way down. So it would be ideal if things continue to dry up to take advantage of it and work my way down in here and try and get as much of the roots that are going into the sides out of here as possible. You can see the corkscrew willow here. You can see the roots working their way down here along the bank, really increasing its foothold on the bank there. We have really, really high winds here. So these plants here, these willow type plants along the edge here, they're dead at this point. Some of them might start to come back, but it would be ideal if I could just peel some of these buggers out of here. You may be able to appreciate just how deep this area is. And so tons of cardboard down here. Let's see. Oh, this is beautiful stuff. And I'm down to, so this is potentially just a couple of inches deep down in here. Tons and tons of plant material and cardboard, and it's just a couple of inches deep. There are little bits of label plastic material down in here, and again, I don't peel the labels off. I'm sure I'll get some comments. So that's it down here. I'm very pleased that it has done such a great job. I don't know how I'm going to get the banks to seal up better, because we are going to have, there's no doubt, we're going to have some very serious droughts as time goes on. I'm going to take a walk over here to this edge where I made the water catchment from recent videos that I posted. The water catchment that goes around the chicken coop work area and all, goes down the whole northwestern side of the property. And what I did do is I directed that potential water that's coming in the future so it would come down right over here. And I have to do some more work. I came in here yesterday with the excavator and decided to make my hi Betty, make the spillway, the swale system here, even a bit deeper. So I've got some more work to dress around here. I shot this with a transit with the laser level, I think it was last week, and built this area up, and I decided I'm going to cut it in a little bit deeper because those big springtime thaws really can be amazing, the volume of water that we get. And I wanted to make sure that this area is going to be dry where the Gothic high tunnel will ultimately go. But I've got some more work to dress this up now and to deal with these stones, but it has improved. I actually have a little bit of a high spot right here that I've got to deal with, and eventually, hopefully they're going to bring me some more wood chips. I'll be able to get the hugelkultur back to Eden area that I've been working on up here fixed up. So the water will be coming right down here. Set this plastic here for right now. The water will come down along the property line here. This will still be built up even higher on this side. And I think I'll be putting black locust in this area. To the right here is the outdoor kitchen. There's a generator. I have to do some maintenance on that. And let's go up to the hugelkultur terrace area. I worked on this yesterday too, brought a lot more of the materials from over along the woods edge down here. So here we are. it'll gradually get built up. So, if you thought this video was of value, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we post more videos. And certainly, folks, have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now.